Couples, this is Tanetta Clay, your relationship coach at Speak Your Truth, and I'm coming to you with lesson number 1 in the series of Unpacking the Baggage. And the first lesson is talking about unpacking your own baggage. So I just want to make sure that you all have your journals ready to go. Like I said in the intro video, you do have to have your journal with you because you're going to have some growth work or some homework after this lesson. After each lesson, you're always going to have homework, so just keep that in mind. But like I said, definitely make sure that you have your journal so that you can write down the information that I'm talking to you about. If you want to take notes or that kind of thing, and for you to write down your assignment as well. So, and your growth work, like I said. So you'll definitely have that. But like I said, this first lesson is talking about unpacking your own baggage, unpacking your bags. I guess while you're already in the door, because sometimes you can't do it before you get to the door, but you're already in the door. So let's talk about and start there. As far as unpacking your own baggage, you have to realize that everybody has their own triggers and their own emotions, their own set of behaviors that they've had in the past and that they've brought with them into the relationship. I'm sure you all have heard of that before, but I'm just here to tell you again that it happens with couples as well. You each are individual people, and like I said, you each come with all your experiences and your lessons and whatever you were taught and whatever was ingrained into you from birth until now. So you have to start unpacking some of those things, especially when it comes to your relationships. Yesterday, and actually in the community, I was talking about triggers and that kind of thing. A trigger is something that, say if somebody that you just despise, all of a sudden somebody mentions their name that you're talking to, and they mention, say, oh, so-and-so is having this going on this weekend and that kind of thing. And all of a sudden you immediately get upset because it brings back all those hurt emotions, all that unhealed emotions, all that trauma that you may have suffered with this person. Like I said, that's what a trigger is. It'll bring up all the things that you don't related to that situation, though, but all the things that you try to, of course, sweep up under the carpet and not talk about, and it just been bothering you throughout the years. Like I said, that's definitely what a trigger is. A trigger is something that's unhealed that you have to, of course, start healing, working on, talking about, so you can, of course, get past those things and figure out what to do. I guess I put it that way in your relationship. And there's a times, of course, that our partners can, of course, trigger something within us. Say if you've been in a marriage that had a divorce and your partner was cheating on you, and the partner used to sometimes, I don't know, go outside and talk on the phone. And you know that that person was, of course, cheating at that time or that kind of thing, or talking to some woman. Like I said, and if your current partner goes outside on the phone, doesn't matter who they're talking to, you immediately get upset. Some people may start hollering and yelling. Some people may start arguing with their partner. Why you doing this? Why you doing that? Like I said, that's definitely a trigger. And like I said, working in any kind of relationship, you have to realize that you have to clear all those bags. I don't care if it's a trigger like that, like those two things I just gave you, or if it's something that's dealing with insecurity, that you just don't trust your partner, and we'll talk about that in another lesson as well. But like I said, those are definitely things that you would have to work on in order for you to successfully move on as far as growing in your union. Like I said, with all that unresolved hurt, unresolved issues that you may be having, as far as, like I said, the triggers, the different things, your partner may say something, may come in the house, look at you a certain way, you all of a sudden upset, that kind of stuff, hollering, yelling. Or you may just be a person that may not holler and yell, but you may be a person that is passive aggressive and say little tidbits and demeaning things every once in a while because you're unhappy within. I just want to let you all know that no partner can make you happy within. If you're not already happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy. A partner cannot complete you at all. They can, of course, compliment you, but they cannot complete you as far as making you happy and making you feel love. I mean, well, take that back. With the love, they can, of course, help you make you feel love. But you, of course, have to understand that all those feelings come from within, come from you. You have to be happy first before you can, of course, move on to doing any kind of relationship, doing any kind of growth work with your partner, that kind of thing. You have to be definitely happy within. I don't care if it's anything within a relationship that you and your mom may have had, that you and your dad may have had, or you and a sibling may have had, or you and another friend may have fell out for. All those kind of things, will, if you have not dealt with those things and forgiven the person, moved on, healed from those things, they're definitely going to start coming up in your relationship. I can tell you that. I've been through that. I've known many other couples that I've, of course, worked with that has been through that as well. So definitely keep that in mind. The issues are not going to go away because you haven't talked about them, or because you tried to suppress them, push them down, but they bother you every single day. That's the reason why some of us walk around with attitudes or walk around with nasty looks on our faces, walk around complaining about everything, every little small tidbit that's going on. Like I said, all those things, or I guess walking around being angry and upset, not being able to cry, or some cry a lot. It just depends, depressed and that kind of thing. Like I said, no partner is going to complete you and make you 100% happy at all. That's not their job. That is your inside job, and that is your job to do. Like I said, you definitely have to start working on those, unpacking your baggage. And what I mean by unpacking your baggage, with your journal, I want you, this is your growth work for this evening. I want you to, of course, write down everything that you can think that triggers you, something that, of course, makes you feel that your partner or whoever your actually, this is for anybody's family. I can't just say your partner, because some of these things may be dealing with sexual abuse of the past or domestic violence, different things that you may have been through in past relationships, or being cheated on, that kind of thing. You have to unpack all those bags. And like I said, some of this stuff may come from us being kids, growing up, all that kind of stuff, and you have to deal with that as well. But definitely start writing down things that may trigger you, or things that may trigger you to feeling like you don't feel like you're worthy, like you don't feel like you belong in the place that you're in, like things that may frustrate you, things that may get on your nerve, make you upset, make you get an attitude, all those kind of things. You have to start writing down those things, and writing down, of course, kind of brainstorming where those things could have came from, and where you could have gotten those kind of attitudes and those behavior patterns from. Like I said, you definitely have to do that. This is the first growth work, like I said, of this lesson. So I want to make sure that you all are writing this down. I'm trying to make sure, I'm looking at my notes, y'all, to make sure I'm not forgetting anything myself. But like I said, the growth work for today, you will be unpacking your baggage. Like I said, there's no point in you trying to go on through the rest of this lesson if you haven't even unpacked one thing in your own bag, because everything is not your partner's fault. It is not your whoever else's fault. It is your, if something's going on that you're not happy with, and it's usually yourself that's not happy. I keep saying that, but I just want to make sure that you all understand that nobody can make you happy. Yes, they can do things to of course provide happiness in your life, but if you're not already happy, you're not already a whole person, you're unhappy, you're depressed, things are going on. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but at some point, if you want to be in a relationship with somebody, you have to start working on those things. It's not going to get better because you push them down, or you think that if you keep talking to your partner, being demeaning and cursing him or her out and this kind of thing, and they're going to keep putting up with your shit. They actually do, they do not have to. They don't have to put up with shit that you dish out, you put out, anything like that at all, and they will leave you because of that. Just to let you know, but I'm sure you, if you already have gotten to this point, this may have happened already. I don't know, but like I said, at some point, nobody's going to keep having an attitude every single day. That makes that person like, what am I supposed to do here then? What's the point of me being here? I don't need to be here. She's going to be, or he's going to be unhappy every single day. Nobody wants to be around somebody who's just unhappy and don't have any, can't even smile every day, I guess I put it that way. But find all the faults in their partner. Their partner's not doing the trash, taking out the trash, or their partner's not helping take care of the kids. Their partner's not doing this or not doing that. I do understand those things happen. Trust me, I understand that. But at some point, you have to create that happiness within. You have to, like I said, unpack your own baggage in order for you to, of course, successfully get through this union. I guess I put it that way, get through this relationship. Like I said, you definitely have to understand that all relationships, you are not going to have an answer for anything that goes on. I guess I put it that way. You are going to have to always come to a compromise. Two people with two different backgrounds, two different types of experiences, lessons, value systems, belief systems, all that kind of stuff. You have to come to a compromise. Sometimes there is no one answer or the highway. There's no black or white answers. You have to come to some type of compromise. That's what relationships are. No, they're not going to be just because you said so and because this makes you happy and blah, 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 blah. You have to come to a compromise. It's not just you in a relationship. There's two people in a relationship. Like I said, you definitely have to learn how to work with the other person. That usually always means compromising, not just is your way or the highway. And like I said, with that type of behavior, that type of unhappiness, you have to learn how to unpack your own bags first. I don't care how long you all have been in the relationship. I don't care if it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is. But if you're one that, of course, has a lot of baggage, and actually it doesn't have to be a lot, but have any kind of baggage that you're dealing with and that you're needing to, of course, unpack, get to unpacking that. Like I said, this is your growth work for tonight. You're going to be sitting down. You're going to be writing out Why you keep getting the attitude because so and so said this? Why you keep getting the attitude because your husband or wife ain't take out the trash? Why you get an attitude because your husband or wife didn't help you with the kids? You're gonna be writing down all these things. Why does it make you feel like you don't like you're not worthy because somebody said something to you or reference something, I don't know, whatever it was from the past, or may have pointed out something in the movie, oh, look at this, and that made you feel unhappy or feel unworthy. You don't feel like you love yourself. All those things, all that stuff is our baggage. Like I said, we definitely have to deal with all those things. And especially if you're a person who's been in relationships where you've been cheated on, there was infidelity, there was, of course, some partners are, of course, there's rape that comes in the, I guess, in the process with the marriage or relationship, that kind of thing as well. So just keep that in mind. And if you've been through those kind of things, or if you had any kind of trauma like that, domestic violence, or seen that growing up, because I know I saw those kind of things growing up. Like I said, I definitely had to unpack my bag, all my bags actually, as far as how to deal with those types of things when they come up and they'll trigger you. You'll hear somebody arguing sometimes, and they may, oh my God, I remember that from a child, and I remember my parents arguing like that, and they may shut you down. They may make you feel scared. All those things, all those kind of things are triggers for us. Like I said, we definitely have to write those things out. And just to let you know, if writing isn't a good thing for you, if you're an artist, if you can art your information out, or you want to dance about this and think about it while you're dancing, cooking, that kind of thing, some folks do that. I'm suggesting writing because you can always go back and look at, of course, your process and your progress that you're making. You can look at where you started at from day one, from lesson one, from unpacking your baggage and that kind of thing. But I would highly suggest that you do write these things out, because that, in that way you can, of course, take your time to, of course, every time I write, I look at it as I'm talking to God, is how I look at it. Like I said, you don't have to look at it that way. You can be your universe, or however you, whatever your higher power is. If you don't have one, then it just be yourself. I guess I put it that way. But like I said, it definitely, writing definitely helps you get everything out, because you can, of course, be honest with yourself on paper. You can tell yourself the truth on paper. I guess speak your truth on the paper. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, you can write all those emotions out. Nobody has to see it but you. Unless you, well, at some point, we're going to have to talk about these things with your partner, so just keep that in mind. I do want to say that the partner does not have to read your journal, but you do have to, of course, talk about these things. So definitely keep that in mind. Because like I said, in order for you to get through this season of unpacking your own baggage, you have to talk to your partner about it, and that partner's going to talk to you about theirs as well. So you all can, again, compromise, come to some kind of, I guess, know what's going on with each other, know what triggers each other, to, of course, create some kind of change within you two, so you all can learn how to work with each other. So definitely keep that in mind. That's why I'm highly suggesting that you write these things down, so that you know what to go back and reference to when you all are having this conversation. And I guess with that, and I guess, like I said, your growth work for the evening is for you to, of course, write down those triggers, write down those things that make you feel like you're unworthy, like you can't love yourself, and the reasons why you're unhappy. I mean, like I said, be honest with yourself. In order for you, like I said, in order for you to move ahead with your partner and to have a successful union and relationship, you have to be honest with yourself as far as what is bothering you and what's causing your unhappiness, and when it happened, who was involved. Oh, you have to write down all those things, how it made you feel, and how from this point, how can you rewrite that story to be something more positive. I guess I put it that way. That you be the hero of that story, not the person that, of course, hurt you or harmed you or put trauma on you. You have to rewrite your story so that you can be the hero of the story, and that you can be the person who, of course, is standing up and doing what you, right now, doing what you need to do for yourself in order to move forward. No, you cannot change anything that happened in the past, but you can, of course, write about it, and, of course, rewrite your own story about it. You don't have to keep reliving that same story at all. Like I said, you can definitely be the hero of your story and not the victim. So like I said, you can definitely go ahead and start rewriting that story starting tonight. So like I said, this is definitely your growth work, you all. I want to make sure that you all are getting this down, and make sure that you are going to do this tonight. And however long it takes you in order for you to get to lesson 2, if it takes you a few days to go on to lesson 2 and to do your growth work, but unpacking your own bag, then of course let it take 2, 3 days or a week if you need. These videos are going to be here for you to, of course, watch at whatever time you were able to watch them, because they're going to be on your own self-paced, self-education mode, I guess I put it that way. So you don't have to rush through them at all, but definitely take your time and make sure that you're completing every step of the way, every growth work. And for any reason, if your partner's not here listening to you on this particular lesson, Make sure that you're letting them know to, of course, come back and listen to this so they can come back and do their own growth work. There's no reason for you one to do it and the other cannot do it. If both of you are planning on moving forward with each other, planning on having a better union, better communication, all those kind of things, this is the first step, is unpacking your baggage. So like I said, definitely make sure that your partner is told about this video if that person's not listening with you right now. But like I said, and if that person's not, make sure that you're letting them know, honey, come listen to Tanetta talk about unpacking your baggage and that kind of thing. There's growth work to do, so we can both, of course, get on the same page, and of course, grow our union. So like I said, definitely let that partner know if they are not listening to you right now. So, because this is very important, like I said, for both of you all to do, not just one. We cannot have a lopsided relationship, and I don't work that way. So like I said, just to let you all know, I think I may have said it in the introductory video, but for all the lessons, I hope that your partner can be there. If for some reason they cannot be there, make sure that they're getting caught up on the lessons, and you're telling them what's going on in the lessons so they can know what to be prepared for. And make sure that they have their own notebook as well so they can write and do their growth work and that kind of thing in there as well. So I just want to make sure that you all know that. Because like I said, for me, and when I speak your truth, I do not work with just one person. I mean, of course, if there's a couple session, just to let you all know that kind of thing, sometimes I may have to work with the woman, and my partner may have to work with the men, I guess, like the man. And of course, we'll come back together, join back together, and then finish the sessions. But like I said, there's not going to be a lopsided, only the woman's getting the information, the man has no idea what's going on, because that happens a lot. Or the man gets the information, not telling his wife what's going on, but he's growing and thriving, and then he's out of the relationship going somewhere else. If you all are wanting to be in the union together, you all have to work together, and this is part of you all doing the work. No, it's not going to be easy, but you definitely have to do the work in order to, of course, get to growing and get to better communication, get to better sex and all those things. I just want to make sure that you all understand that, because that's definitely important to me, and that's why I'm here, of course, to make sure that you both, those two, it takes two to tango, are working on those things. And like I said, I think that's the end of my lesson one. Oh, I just have one more thing to say as far as unpacking your bags. I guess unpacking your baggage, because I don't know if I'm speaking to somebody who has very bad anger issues, because I know some folks may have very bad anger issues and uncontrollable tempers and things like that. And if I'm speaking to you in that aspect, just keep in mind you're probably going to have to consult, because I don't have a anger management class, of course, right now. But if a lot of you, of course, are requesting that kind of thing, I can definitely do that, because I had to deal with a lot of anger and bad tempers and that kind of thing. That's the behavior that I was taught as a child, I guess, growing up. And like I said, if that's you, definitely seek out for an anger management course, or find somebody that's online teaching about anger management and how to release that anger and those pent up emotions and that kind of thing. So I just want to say, if that's you, you definitely want to work on that before you even start unpacking your. Well, actually, some of that may deal with unpacking your baggage. But of course, if it's still going on, you're still having some anger issues, you're taking things out on your partner, and it's just getting overly. I mean, it's just been a lot for that partner, I'm sure, to deal with. You know that you have an anger issue. You have to get help for that. Your partner cannot get you help for that. You have to know that and I'm telling you that as well. I can suggest all these things to you, but if your anger is not anything that you're willing to work on, then your relationship is not going to be a relationship that you can work on either and get past, because you're constantly going to keep pushing your partner away. The sex is going to dwindle down to nothing. The communication is going to dwindle, especially if you're putting that kind of fear out in the household and not insecurity, but I guess fear and lack of security and that kind of thing in the household. You have to be A1, I guess, and step up your game, I put it that way, and get the anger management courses and information that you need if that's you, just to keep that in mind. Trying to see if there's anything else. I guess that's it for this. But like I said, definitely the growth work for tonight is you unpacking your baggage, making sure that you're writing down all those things that may trigger you, to feel that you are not safe, or feel that you're scared, or to make you feel that you're not worthy, or to make you feel unloved. Make sure that you document all those things, writing all those things down, why they're bothering you, how long they've been bothering you, where they may have come from, and how you can, of course, rewrite that story to, of course, move forward. Yes, you're the hero of your story. I know all those bad things happen to you. They happen to me as well. Like I said, but we can definitely move forward and rewrite that story. We can become the hero of that story, because right now you're the hero, and you're going to start working on those things, and you're going to, of course, push your own self forward. Like I said, that's what it takes when you're doing the work and doing your personal development and trying to, of course, create a better union with you and your partner. You have to push yourself forward. And like I said, you're always the hero. So just keep that in mind. Even though it may not feel like it if you were sexually abused as a child or that kind of thing. Like I said, you may not feel like the hero. Back at that time, you cannot change what happened. But right now, you are the hero, and you're going to rewrite your story and change all those things that has happened to you in the past. Like I said, you don't have to. I'm not telling you to lie or fabricate the story at all. But what I'm telling you is that you're the hero of that story. You're no longer the victim. You may have been the victim at some point, but right now you're the hero. You're going to rewrite your story, and you're going to tell a more positive story. I guess I'd say that. And the lessons that you've learned and the experiences that you learned. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I had to learn that as well. As far as rewriting my story to be more of a lesson, what lesson, what experience did that teach me? Because there's always somebody up under you, somebody that your kids or somebody else in the family or somebody that you're working with who may need to hear that lesson from you and who may need for you to talk to them about that lesson at some point. So just keep that in mind. So definitely find all the lessons and all the trauma that you've had so that you can share those lessons with somebody at some point in your life. I guess I put it that way. Doesn't have to be today. It could be 15 years from now. But definitely at some point, those lessons from all that trauma is going to help save somebody else that's surrounding, I guess, in your life. So just keep that in mind. And with that, I'm going to end there. Like I said, this is lesson 1, unpacking your baggage. And like I said, this is the relationship series called Unpacking the Baggage. So like I said, thank you all for tuning in. I definitely want to say thank you, couples, and that you made it past your first lesson. And I cannot wait to, of course, get comments and questions and suggestions about what you've learned as far as doing your own growth work and unpacking your own bags in this lesson. So I cannot wait to hear that. So definitely make sure that you're commenting and sending me the information. I'll make sure that my email is somewhere on here as well because I do want to hear from you all to make sure that everything is going okay with the lessons and that kind of thing too. So definitely let me know. And like I said, leave it in the comments if you need to. It's fine as well. But like I said, I definitely want to hear from you and hear what's going on and hear what kind of progress you're making at this point. Even though this is the first lesson, but you can still make some progress. And you're going to make a lot of progress with this one, especially with unpacking your bag. So with that, I'm going to get off here. Like I said, thank you all again for tuning in. Lesson 2 will be coming on shortly, y'all. See you all in the next video. Take care, couples. Bye-bye.